Chaz, can you hear me
Yeah,
okay?
I can.
Great. How is your day going so far?
Just going good. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Longtime fan of your work. It's hard to say, is Chaz a musician? Is Chaz an actor? Is Chaz a writer? How do you like to be thought of?
Well, definitely not a musician. I haven't done that in so long, and it just, yeah, that was not really for me. So, I mean, I'm an actor. I mean, that's really where my passions lie. So, yeah, that's how I think of myself.
Well, I'm going to give you credit for the music, though, because you wrote a bunch of songs with Mark Hudson, who's one of the greatest songwriters, in my opinion, of all time. So it does hold up. So please take that as a compliment. But
Thank you.
we were connected to talk about Reboot Camp. And when I go over your acting credits, as far as I know, you're the only person to have appeared on Degrassi, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and American Horror Story. Do I have that correct?
Well, I have appeared on all of them. Yes, I don't know if I'm the only person to.
Well, Reboot Camp, when exactly was it filmed?
It was filmed the summer before COVID.
The
So
summer before, yeah.
yeah,
Was it
it's
filmed in the Los Angeles area?
yeah, we filmed at Frank Sinatra's house in Woodland Hills.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the infamous house that has the doormat that says "Go away," or did they get rid of that?
I don't remember seeing that doormat, no. But it could have been that. I mean, I have no idea. But yeah, that's where almost everything. I mean, I filmed one other day that was not there. That was the scene at the very end when Claire kind of takes the cult for herself, and it kind of takes a dark turn, and we're all dressed in red and acting weird. And that was my only day not at the Frank Sinatra house. So we kind of took that over and had a good time there.
Yeah, without spoiling any of the plot twists, the film is not exactly what it looks like it is at the beginning. It definitely has some turns in it, and as a big fan of mockumentaries and a big fan of making fun of self-help when it's commercialized like that, that's what drew me into the movie. And then adding in stars like yourself, it's a really star-studded cast as well. Was it a traditional casting thing, or were you friends with somebody and they said, "Hey, come on down"?
I got asked to do it. I think most people did. I mean, David, no, I mean, he's been in this business for so long and he knows a lot of people. I came in through, it got to me through my publicist, and then I met with David and Evo with my manager, and my manager has known, sorry, my dog is barking, has known David for forever. I mean, I think that he was an agent someplace that where David was, they'd worked together. So we had a meeting. I had read the script. I liked the script. We talked about, how they envisioned the film going. And it sounded like a lot of fun and fart, smart and funny. And I wanted to be a part of it. And it just kind of from there.
Watching it, my sensibilities ticked off that it seems like it was written like Curb Your Enthusiasm, in that the plot was written, but you were given free reign to improvise a little bit. Like, for example, when you're talking about your boa constrictor, Herbie Jr., and your girlfriend, Larissa, whatever it is, I'm assuming that was improvised.
Well, a lot of that was written, and then we improvised that scene. And it honestly, they cut it down because it just went on and got kind of sillier and sillier. So yeah, but the bones were most definitely there, but we did also, we had the freedom to kind of improvise. It was kind of a hybrid. I mean, having done Curb, like they literally, you don't have a script. You have kind of you get like an outlines of the scene and what is going to happen in the scene, but there are no lines. We did have written lines in this, but we also had the freedom to kind of, go off script a little bit and add to it.
Now, as I talked about before, you have extensive credits as an actor, but Do you have an improv background? Did you study improv or just learn by doing?
Really didn't specifically study improv. No, I just kind of, um, I mean, I had done some improv, probably, I went to performing arts high school, or now it's called LaGuardia. So, a
Oh,
long time ago. But then when I kind of got back into acting and studying at my studio, no, I didn't do really any improv. I kind of went for it. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't have that training, but I'm comfortable enough in it to have, booked Curb and this.
when you're doing that kind of a role, is there warm up or do you just show up and you do as many takes as needed?
No, well, with this, it's an independent film, and we did very few takes. I mean, the way that Evo shot it, it was very documentary style, even though it's a mockumentary. I mean, it was two cameras only ever, and they were kind of, you always got the sense that they were there was never a camera in your face a lot. I mean, it was, so it was very easy to forget you were being filmed and get into just all the different silly things we were doing. And then, and I don't ever remember doing more than 3 or 4 takes of anything.
Wow.
Honest. So it was, we shot the whole thing in 2 weeks. I think I worked 5 or 6 days. There was kind of, this core of us campers, that were the actors that were that main group that were around together. And then they would just kind of bring in somebody for a day here and there to, for cameos and to do other stuff.
Did you have to do any prep in terms of the self-help reboot perspective that this movie takes a laugh at? I mean, obviously, if you need help, you get help. But
right.
Some of the people offering help for these things, I'm no more qualified than they are.
Sure. No, I mean, there wasn't, I've honestly been fascinated with cults for a lot of my life. We all, had watched certain things. I mean, there's a documentary, I think it's called Holy Hell on Netflix, that we had all just kind of watched and talked about, which is it's an amazing documentary. And yeah, there's some, I mean, probably my favorite cult film is a film called Ticket to Heaven, which was a Canadian film that is really old, with an actor named Nick Mancuso. So it's something that I've been interested in. And then, I did American Horror Story Cult and was a cult member there, a very different, dark kind of cult member. So when I got the script and when we did our table read, I just kind of, had this take on Herbie. And I remember going to Evo at that point, and I was like, look I said, to me, this guy is just, he's like the most, he's drunk the most Kool-Aid. Like, this, like, Herbert is just, he's all in. He is so into this. He's, he comes in under, circumstances where he feels like he's lost so much that he just grabs onto this thing with both arms and is just like, the most enthusiastic of the campers. And Evo really, liked my take on it. That was pretty much it. Just went from there.
I can get behind that. Well, in doing interviews 5-6 days a week, I get 10 different answers to this. When I say, hey, when did you make your movie? People will go, oh, a month before lockdown. Other people go, 4 years before lockdown, and we've been waiting for this to come out. And some people are occasionally saying, we made this actually during lockdown, and it was safe, and it was great. And in turn, everyone's IMDb pages, some of them are up to date, some of them are hidden. In your case, is it up to date? Or are there other projects besides Reboot Camp?
No, this is the last thing I've done. It is the other things that I had signed on to do before lockdown have continually gotten pushed back. So yeah, I'm hoping that, stuff is going to start to open up again. And it's been a frustrating year for
Sure.
me as an actor. I miss working with other people. I mean, at this point, I miss my acting class. I just miss, and the only thing that I've gotten to do is tape auditions, and even that, it hasn't been with another person in the room. I kind of do it to a voice and tape something to my little rig so I have an eye line, and that's it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's been tough.
Have you discovered any new hobbies or interests in that year and change that you've been out of it?
I did. I taught myself how to build watches. So
What?
that's been kind of uh, my creative hobby that I got into.
So you didn't just go full throttle into watching every episode of 25 shows or anything like that, or did you do that and the watches?
Well, my girlfriend and I, watch TV at night together. So we are always, watching stuff. I mean, there's so much to watch, honestly. So that's been great. But yeah, as far as like learning a new skill or getting something out of not doing anything for a year and change now, that's the skill that I acquired.
Well, three quick questions and then you're free. And the first one is related to that, watching TV at night. Do you have a TV recommendation that you could pass along to somebody who needs a new show to start?
Oh, we discovered recently Castle Rock, which I hadn't seen before, which is on Hulu. I'm a horror guy, so the second season we just finished. It was phenomenal. Lizzie Kaplan, who's one of my favorite actresses, plays kind of a young Annie Wilkes. It's kind of her origin story. Mm-hmm. So if you're a Stephen King fan or a horror fan at all, that was really great. What else? God, I mean, like, it's just always something. We watched
something.
Oh yeah, we've seen a myriad of fairy shows, magic things on Netflix that have all been pretty entertaining, but I honestly can't remember the names of any of them. We watched some thing with kids and Sherlock Holmes recently, also on Netflix. Netflix just putting out so much stuff. And we're watching Clarice now, which is pretty good. I don't watch a lot of network stuff, but it's, again, horror, fan, really like those books and movies, so not bad.
Next question. This I have no idea. I couldn't figure it out. Do you have a favorite musical artist of all time?
Probably the Beatles, but I'm not, honestly, I don't listen to a lot of music. I'm much more of a podcast or book on tape type of person.
Wow. Okay. I appreciate that honesty right there, because when you have people who had record deals, either they're listening to music 24/7 or they go, hey, that's work. I don't need.
Yeah, I think, neither of my parents really listened to music a lot. I think it was the work thing. And then that's kind of where I got to. And honestly, I had such a, unpleasant experience in the music industry that, music can actually, under the wrong circumstances, just stress me out. So,
wow. Okay. I apologize for bringing that
up.
Oh,
no, don't bring it up. I'm a weirdo. I mean, believe me, any time I have to, people love music. So to say like, yeah, I'm not really that into music, people are just like, what is wrong with you? What kind of freak are you? But yeah, I'm just weird. So
we like what we like, and if it doesn't bother anyone else, keep liking that.
Exactly.
And then my closer for you, and this could include as much self-promotion as you want or as little, that's any last words for the kids.
God, I have no idea, man. It's a hard time. So, and I know what it's been like for an adult, so I can't even imagine what it's been like for kids. Yeah, so no advice for kids. Just you know, I hope you guys get back to normal. We all get back to normal, and yeah,
And see Reboot Camp.
and see Reboot Camp. Yeah, for the kids. I think you know it's a fun movie that I think a lot of people can enjoy. You know.
Definitely agreed on that end. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to seeing what's coming next from you.
Cool. Thanks so much for having me.
Chaz.
Paltrocast.